It's the kind of encounter you never forget, the kind that lingers long after a moment has passed. A shadow on your mind that you can't shake. You might try to brush it off, tell yourself it was nothing more than a fleeting oddity, but deep down you know something was just off. Tonight, I'm sharing a story that will make you question just how far you're willing to go to avoid meeting certain people again. Because some encounters should never happen twice. One night, unable to sleep, I decided to take a walk around 1 or 2 a.m. through my neighborhood. It was a quiet area, the kind where silence was as familiar as the hum of a street lamp, and I often felt safe wandering the streets late at night. I enjoyed the solitude, the cool night air brushing against my skin, and the calming rhythm of my footsteps on the pavement. The night stretched on in tranquil stillness until I noticed something strange in the distance. At the far end of the street, under the dim, flickering glow of a streetlight, stood a man, and he was dancing. At first, I thought I must have been mistaken, but no. He was performing an odd, almost theatrical waltz. His movements were deliberate and exaggerated, as though he was part of some eerie, unseen performance. He would take a few steps forward, pirouette with a surprising elegance, and then bow deeply, his motions too precise for comfort. I stopped walking, frozen by a mix of curiosity and unease. What was he doing out at this hour? The question quickly turned to apprehension when I realized something that made my stomach tighten. The man was moving toward me, still dancing. Trying to suppress the growing tension, I crossed to the other side of the street, hoping to avoid him. But my relief was short-lived. He mimicked me, crossing to my side, his bizarre waltz now exaggerated to almost mocking proportions. Each spin, each bow seemed like a taunt. As he drew closer, the details of his face became clear in the dim light. His grin, it was almost impossible to ignore. It stretched unnaturally wide, as though his face were struggling to contain it. It wasn't just a smile, it was something far more sinister, an expression devoid of joy, but full of something darker. His eyes locked onto mine, cold and unblinking, and I felt a chill crawl down my spine. I quickened my pace, hoping to outdistance him, but his dance changed with me. It became erratic, almost frantic, as he skipped and twirled to keep up. Every time I dared to glance back, he would freeze mid-step, his body locked in a grotesque pose, that unnerving grin never faltering. Then, as though on cue, he would resume his pursuit. The air felt heavier, pressing down on me with each passing second. My heartbeat thundered in my ears, and when I couldn't take it anymore, I stopped and turned to face him. I shouted, "What do you want?" The sound of my voice echoed down the empty street, but he didn't answer. Instead, he halted abruptly, tilting his head to one side like a curious animal. For a moment, time felt suspended. Then, with an unsettling fluidity, he spun on his heel and waltzed away, disappearing down a shadowed side street. Relief washed over me in waves, but it was fleeting. Shaken, I began my trek home. my mind racing to rationalize what had just happened. Perhaps he was just some eccentric, harmless weirdo. Yet deep down, I couldn't convince myself of that. As I turned the final corner onto my street, my breath was caught in my throat. He was there, standing still at the far end of the block, facing me. That grin, unnatural, unyielding, was unmistakable. This time, I didn't wait. Fear overtook me, and I sprinted home, slamming the door shut and locking every bolt. The rest of the night, I sat in silence, straining to hear any sound that might betray his presence. But none came. He was never seen again, but his image is seared into my memory. So I'll end it with this. Smiling man, wherever you are, let's not meet again. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Let me know your thoughts or share your own stories in the comments. I love hearing from you. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of the eerie, intriguing, or downright chilling content we've got coming your way. See you in the next one.